The casting for April O'Neil has been announced in the new Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles. Yep. Not
new
surprised.
Ninja Turtles movie.
No.
Yeah. Shocker! Surprise! Surprise! Another race swap.
Yep. Peter Pan 2, that was announced as well.
Oh, no! Don't let me even get started on that.
Peter Pan is now an Indian. He's
supposed to have red hair in the books, but forget that.
So Peter Pan is cast by someone from India, and Tinkerbell is black. And instead of the Lost Boys, it's the Lost Boys and Girls, but they call themselves the Lost Boys. Half of them are girls, and they're like, "Well, who says that a girl can't be a Lost Boy?"
The Lost Boys. That was the main rule that you could
in the name.
Yeah.
It was the main rule. That's why they didn't want the girl.
Have you seen that Ben Shapiro soundbite? Who says that girls can't be in Boy Scouts? In the name, Boy Scouts.
I did think it was kind of interesting when they changed it so that the girls could be in it. They changed it so that it wasn't so exclusive to Scouts BSA. And BSA stands for Boy Scouts of America. So you didn't take the Boy
It's not.
Scouts
Here's the thing.
out of
Here's the thing with Boy Scouts. It's not about exclusion. If you know anything about child development, girls and boys are very different. Now, these are generalizations. Obviously, there are some that fall outside of these generalizations. There might be girls that like playing with sticks and rocks and dirt, but on average, it's not the case. Boys need different activities to develop well. And that's why Boy Scouts was invented, to throw the boys outside and get out all their boy stuff.
Yep.
It's not the kind of environment that can exist with a female present. It completely defeats the purpose, which is why I'm not proud to call myself an Eagle Scout.
Yeah.
It used to be a great program, and I'm ashamed of it now. So
it used to sound cool, like I was a Boy Scout. Well, I were for a time, until my mother was like, "Nah, you suck at it." Yeah, she bullied me out of it. But the thing that I noticed with the Boy Scouts is that
keep paying.
Yeah, she was like, "No, I'm not gonna pay for that. You suck at it." No, but the thing that I always noticed is, like you said, it was mainly boys. There was one or two girls in the whole group, but they were not the regular, feminine girl. There were girls that like to do boy stuff, that like to go into the woods, make a fire,
What?
I don't know, tie knots. I don't know what they did. I was sucked at it.
One of our favorite things to do, anytime we'd go on a camp out, we'd catch squirrels. So from day one, if we were like on a week-long trip, we'd set up traps for squirrels, like set out some nuts and set out like a little slip knot, and we'd capture a squirrel on day one and keep it as a pet the entire time. Just have a squirrel running around on our little leash. And it was awesome. We gave him tons of food, okay? We didn't hurt the squirrel.
You did that.
We didn't hurt the squirrel, okay? But we would keep squirrel pets for the entire week, and then after the week was over, we'd obviously kill the squirrel. And just kidding, we would let it go, okay? I guarantee you, if there was a girl present, they'd be like, "Oh no, you can't do that to the squirrel." It would have ruined the whole experience.
Or if it was a cool girl, would be like, "Kill the squirrel, kill the damn squirrel."
No meat. You don't want to eat squirrel, man.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, boys need a space to.
Boys need a space.
Girls need themselves together.
Boys need a boy space. Girls need a girl space. And in addition to both of those things, you do need a space with both boys and girls. But all three of those spaces need to be separated because they all serve completely different functions.
Yeah. Wasn't there like a Girl Scouts
Yes, there
like
is.
with the cookies and
It's not as
cookies
cool. And so like I understand from the perspective of a girl, if there's a Tom girl who's like, I really want to do all the camping stuff, and the Girl Scouts do lame things like make cookies. I understand wanting that, and that would be on the onus of that girl's father to take her camping. But
Exactly.
to infiltrate a boys group that was made to grow boys is wrong.
Yeah. I mean, it is, because they go camping and they stay together in tents, so that may develop some weird things with the boys, to be honest.
Yeah. Why race swapping is stupid, and we've gone over this ad nauseum. It's not that I don't like black characters. It's not that I don't like Indian characters. Okay, it's that that's not the point. We know that you are the purpose of a race swap like this is symbolic. They are taking pre-established characters on purpose and morphing them to become woke because it is a symbolic dismantling of white privilege. Okay, and that is what I have a problem with. I have no problem with diverse characters. Okay, there are plenty of gay and people of color, POCs, whatever all of the acronyms. I don't know why everyone needs to have an acronym. Okay, growing up, I never wrote my race on the forms, right? When they say, "Oh, when you take tests and stuff," I always wrote American because that's what I consider myself. I don't care about the color of people's skin. It does not matter to me. It matters to you. It is important to the people who think it's necessary to race swap characters because those are the people who are actually racist. Okay.
Mhm.
I don't have a problem with Indian characters. I just bought a book that I'm super, super excited for. Gunmetal Gods is a fantasy book, but it's written by an Indian author, and so it's traditional like Indian lore mixed in with fantasy crap, and it sounds really freaking good. I'm super excited for it. I'm super excited to read Rage of Dragons, which is the same thing but for Africa. It's African mythology mixed in to fantasy crap, which I just gobble up. I like diverse characters when they are unique. I have no problem with people writing stories with these things, like Captain Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's gay. Guess what? I love his character. It's fantastic. It's an original character. I
Yeah.
like Modern Family. There's a gay couple in that who adopt a Chinese girl. Like, I am not racist. I'm not homophobic. I like these characters. What I do not like is you taking IPs, dismantling them, putting on your woke paint, and calling it amazing.
Unique. Original. Yeah.
So yeah, Indians. Another thought. I went to talk about this last week. I realized I was doing some soul searching. I realized I might be a little bit racist towards Indians. And I've taken steps to fix this. Okay. Now, we were out of town and we went for my brother's funeral. If you haven't heard already, my brother died. So smash that like button. Staying in a hotel, and the 2 rooms next to us where it was a giant Indian family that rented out 2 rooms, and they kept, they're very loud. But it's okay. I didn't mind that much because I love family, and the Indians are great about family, and that's really good. Okay. The problem is I had a horrible boss who was from India, who, if you don't know the story, he's the reason I started YouTube because I quit my job because he was ripping me off. One of the worst people I've ever worked for. I hated working there, and he was extremely abusive and a disgrace to his culture. So I had that bad experience with an Indian person in an authority figure. And I also had, before that, I had some other interactions with Indians that weren't pleasant. Okay. And so I was looking at this family during the free breakfast buffet, And one of the guys was just like standing there, like just with his stomach out, like just in a really weird pose. And I had some bad thoughts in my head. I was like, I don't like this Indian guy. And I realized, hey, that's kind of a racist thing to do. I know nothing about this person, and he's got a good family. And I immediately corrected. It was literally just like a split second thing. Oh, that was kind of racist of me to judge this person. And I realized what I was doing is I was applying my past experiences to someone I'd never met. Okay. I had horrible experiences with some Indian people. I've also, and then thinking about it, I was like, wait, but I've also had good experiences with Indian people. One of my coworkers working for the same company was also Indian, and I loved that guy. He was hard to work with sometimes. He would ask for my help all the time, and it sometimes got annoying, but he was sweet. He was always nice. So I never hated him. It was just sometimes he got a little bit annoying.
You also dated an Indian woman.
I dated, well, that was part of the bad experience.
Oh.
Mhm.
Sorry.
I dated an Indian. I hear Martina.
Yeah, she's in the other room.
We're on good terms now. It didn't end well. Put it that way. But I realized, one bad apple can spoil the bunch, and it shouldn't. Like, that's a bad thing. That's bad. But I realized I was being racist, and like a couple bad experiences. Really, I've also had a lot of scam callers, and they're all Indian. Oh, it's annoying. Okay, so like I had a bad experience, and I was projecting that experience onto someone I'd never met, and I realized, that's probably how racism starts. Okay, and that's a bad thing. So I made corrections, and I repented. I said that was really dumb, and so I in my mind I made steps to view this person and their family differently. Okay, it was actually a really good experience, but thinking about that experience just made me ponder all of the woke crap that's happening right now, and all of the genuinely bad things that people are doing on the altar of wokeness. And it just really illustrated to me how easy it is to create racism. If you look at the destruction of this country that Antifa and Black Lives Matter just holding the country hostage for 2 years for the sake of Black Lives Matter, how could that not create racists? If you're a kid growing up and saying, hey, yeah, your father's car dealership was destroyed by Black Lives Matter because Black lives are important. How could that kid not be affected by that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, people's lives, not just their lives were in danger. There were tons of people who were killed in those riots. Police officers and off-duty cops. The guy who was protecting his friend's TV store who was murdered on the street. I forget his name. I should remember that. David Dorn. David Dorn. Just murdered on the street for a TV by some thugs. And yes, I'm not afraid to use the word thugs. Okay. It's not applied to all Black people. It's applied to Black people and white people who are acting like thugs. I don't care what your skin color is. You murdered someone for a TV, you're a thug. If that reflects poorly on your race, that's your problem.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of Mexican thugs, yo. So
there's lots of Mexican thugs. There's also lots of Mexican sweeties, like our intern, the Angry Mexa. He's a wonderful guy. I lived in Mexico for 2 years. I know a lot of sweeties. I also know a lot of thugs. I had a couch thrown at me from a second-story building by people. I assume they were trying to kill me. They're like, "Ah, güero!" and screaming and chucked a love seat at me from the second story, smacked me in the back of the head, and almost knocked me out. Thugs, okay? But I know a lot of wonderful Mexicans. I know a lot of wonderful Black people. I know a couple Indians that are wonderful, and I would love to meet more. But the point of the story is, these things that you're doing, it's having the opposite effect. You are creating new racists. Yeah, you are creating more racism,
creating problems where there were none initially. Yeah,
and the issue, like you said, is how easy can the mind go to those places.
I didn't even realize what was going on. I was like, holy crap, I just did a racism.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, in Mexico, is pretty pretty normal to be racist towards white people.
Oh,
Like you said,
this isn't even
pretty
going into other
pretty
countries and their
yeah,
racism. Holy China and
pretty
their hate of their
pretty
hatred of the
normal.
black community.
Mhm.
Oh, like, yeah,
Yeah. It's pretty normal there to, someone's white, you call him güero, and you think
Mhm.
that they are
I
rich,
owned it though,
probably.
man. I called myself a güero.
And myself as well.
It's great. I don't
Mhm.
care because
it's a
The
it's a
the other one I hear
cool,
a
it
lot
only
of.
affects you if
I
you let it, right? Like,
Mhm,
The other one I hear a lot
exactly.
of from Hispanics is against Chinese as well. Get a lot of Chinese jokes and
Oh yeah,
involved.
yeah. We love imitating Chinese. The accent, or not even Chinese. You're probably more Japanese. The
dude,
accent.
yesterday. I ran into an old acquaintance who I haven't seen like 5 years, who we used to be neighbors with. And it's a mixed race couple, a white guy and a Hispanic lady. Wonderful people, and they had a newborn. Crap, I can't remember if it was a boy or a girl. It was a girl because it looked like a boy, and we are talking about how much he looked like a boy. He looked like a little Chinese boy. He looked the haircut. He had the whole like the Korean like the and like all you had to do was just a little bit of that. And you're like that kid is not Mexican, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we Mexicans have beady eyes. I had a little, some beady eyes. Mostly the light reflecting on my eyes as well because it's straining. It's too straining. But yeah, like I was saying, there's a lot of racism in every country that we find. But the only place in the world where racism is, like, they are trying to make racism something subliminal. That's what I would say, because all these moves, all this race swapping
Yep.
is subliminal. It's sending you
Yes.
messages, the incorrect messaging, basically saying a black woman, a black guy cannot get a part for himself by being good or by being the best for the role. It's
Mhm.
no, you're black, we have to put you in this show, or you're Mexican. Like, for example, I will never be able to go to the United States and say, hey, I want to play the part of a white guy or something like that, or of a black guy or a Chinese man. And that's okay because that's a different race. But all they see in me is that, okay, that guy is
I think you
Mexican.
could get
He
away with
acts,
Indian.
yeah.
You could.
He was in the Manhattan.
You have to make a couple changes. I think you could. I think you could pull off.
I just have to put on the accent.
So what you do if you want to do an Indian accent, all you have to do is just touch the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth with every word you say. All you have to do is this. That is it. You have an Indian accent. That is
I
it.
never tried to
I was
before.
taught this by an Indian. It's because all of the words that they express is through that. You literally, you do not have to make any changes.
Oh my
You just
God.
touch the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. That is it.
Oh my God, you just gave me the secret, man. I'm going to start abusing that
That's all you do.
technique.
Everything you say, you touch the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. I hear Martina laughing again.
There she goes again.
Yeah,
Welcome,
Jared. That's the right spelling.
Well,
of
what a
buena
time
with
to
the-
join the live stream. We're all being
the
racist.
umlaut and all.
I just wanted to point out how much of a Wena she is because she also thinks it's spelled
You
W-E-D-A.
spell it wrong, yeah.
Yeah.
Wida. What was that? I was like, Wida.
Oh,
What is a
dude,
Wida?
Mexicans are the worst at spelling.
Oh, yeah.
Because the V and the B make the exact same sound. I had someone spell Pope Benedicto, whatever. I can't remember which pope it was, but it was the one that was named Benedicto. Someone was writing out his name and they spelled it with a V, and I was like,
So
I know
yes,
that's wrong,
but
and I'm not Mexican,
so
right?
much worse because there's so many other letters that make the same sounds that they shouldn't make anymore, and there's only a couple of those in Spanish, like the B and the V. You'll swap them. Sometimes you'll get some C's and S's maybe mixed up in there.
Well, that's why I
Yeah.
love the theta in Spain, because we don't
Oh,
get that
get
messed
outta
up.
Yeah. You guys with your lisps there. Hey.
Oh, for real? I
Oh,
never.
gracias.
You find
I never-
you find my accent attractive?
Hey, but we
I
don't
never.
mess up. Like,
So
I've
that
never
was the
been
one
able
thing.
to, you know.
One of the few problems that I had with Toy Story 3 when Buzz goes into Spanish mode is his
Antonio
Spanish
Banderas.
accent is Spain Spanish, not Mexican Spanish. Like, no, stop it.
That was and he was doing
But
like
he
he was
was doing like flamenco or whatever.
yeah, there was a little
Yeah,
bit of
yeah.
incongruity there. So
Yeah, it was great.
Mhm. And flamenco is Spanish, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
was gonna say that's actually it's good.
but maybe he was doing tango, and tango is not. Yeah,
Oh, he
but
was
No, I'm
doing
pretty
tango
sure
at
it
one
was
point. You're
flamenco.
right.
It was
oh, he
flamenco.
was flamenco. Okay,
Yeah, it was
yeah,
flamenco.
it's the same.
But
It's the
he
same.
did
Oh,
he
we
did
all
grab
are
the
the
rose at
same.
one point. That's
By the way, Martina, just because you were asking about it in the chat there, a W doesn't exist in any Spanish words naturally. Those are only foreign words that have W's. They create the W sound with the either HUA or that GU with the
Uh-huh.
that's
That's
how
accurate.
you spell
U's
fuera.
and there's one other one. I think it's K's. There aren't any K's. I think.
Yeah, there's like only 2 or 3 Ks and are just words foreign. You know,
The
kilo,
borrowed, yeah. Mhm.
kiosco is kiosk. So it's yeah. They're foreign. But yeah, you're pretty accurate, Bearded. You are good at Spanish.
All right. The point of that whole
We don't
discussion
necessarily
was to say the best way to end racism is to stop talking about race, stop making it a big deal.